For the next 9 days, we are homeless in Mexico. First look at leafcutter ants here in the Yucatan Peninsula. This is Neivamyrmex octospinosus, which it's no ATA, but I still absolutely love them. And on top of that, I'm actually almost more happy to see them because when I was able to observe them in Costa Rica, it was just a few workers. They weren't really doing anything, a few workers and queens. But now I get to actually watch them do their thing. They're collecting leaves, they've got a trail. And it's really actually cool to watch them do what they're supposed to be doing, rather than just a few workers. So, very happy about this. And hey, I'll never complain about seeing leafcutter ants.
After a quick morning in the nature preserve, we took a dip in a cenote, a flooded limestone sinkhole that are common here in the Yucatan. After getting out, even though I didn't have any of my filming equipment with me besides my phone, I found this awesome Neivamyrmex sauceri worker. This is the southernmost species in one of my favorite genera of fungus-growing ants, and even though I didn't have any good way to film it, I couldn't just not show it to you guys. They're great. I really love them.
So I was cracking twigs and I found another new Pseudomyrmex species, who you can see is extremely unhappy with the situation. But they're really cool. I like the colors on them. That striped gaster is honestly really, really cool. Look at these dolichoderus that I found in this branch. Oh, and a pseudoscorpion. But they're pretty uninteresting looking at the surface. But if you can barely see, the very last gastroturgite is yellow, which is totally odd. And it's really interesting looking. They might be a little bit prettier if they weren't just like fully brown. But yeah, look at that. That tip of the gaster, I've never ever seen an ant like that. That's super cool. So this is maybe a little bit of a callback to my video that I did in Southwest Florida, finding arboreal ants. There it was Solenopsis picta. I'm not entirely sure what species these are, and I kind of doubt that I'll be able to find out. But we have some arboreal nesting Solenopsis, thief ants, which is pretty cool. If you look, that's the nest. Or, well, there was a little bit of dead wood sticking out that is now gone. But yeah. Check this out, y'all. This is a new Cephalotes species for the trip. The minors are super tiny, but we've got some of the majors. And let me just tell you, the polymorphism is really impressive. The majors are big compared to the minors. Look at them, they're so cute. Here we go, here we have the majors. You can see how big they are compared to the minors. I'm trying to shield the entrance. They are so cute. Those heads are awesome.
After a mostly uneventful day, we hit to the road again at night to search for some snakes and other critters that might be crossing the roads.
So finally, after driving back and forth up and down a road who knows how many times, we have our first live snake in hand. We did see one that got off the road, and we've seen a few dead ones, but our first live in-hand captured snake. And he's cute. He's got pretty cool colors. He's a little guy, but hey, I'll take it.
Close relative of the hook-nosed snakes that you've seen in Arizona.
Yeah, some of you guys may know I love hook-nosed snakes in the genus Gyalopion, and While this is a different genus, they are a close relative, which is kind of a bonus. Not only am I happy to see a snake, but also a cousin of some of my favorite Arizona snakes. Cute. So over the course of our stay in this particular spot, we've been seeing tons of tarantula hawk wasps, which are really cool, but it's been leading us to wonder, where the heck are the tarantulas? But upon coming to this natural cenote, not like a touristy manicured one like last time, we found this. Check this little dude out. As you can probably tell by the size of that little velvet mite next to him, he's not particularly large, a little juvenile, but I'm still glad to actually see a classic Mexican tarantula. As I'm sure many of you know, Mexican tarantulas are pretty famous, like the Mexican red knee. Don't know what species this is. I doubt it's a red knee or a pink toe, considering his legs are fully gray. But, you know, Mexican tarantulas have a reputation, and I'm glad I was able to see one. And I kid you not 2 meters from the first rock, we have a second tarantula. So I guess this whole time I should have just been looking around these cenotes, because that's where they seem to like. This cenote seems to be the gift that keeps on giving with this big leptogenous colony. There's only a few individuals down here. We've got another cluster on the rock. Pretty cool if I say so myself. Apparently this is Tarantula City, because we're on to, this is like number 5 or something in the last like 10 minutes. But this one is a fair bit larger, so I decided to film it. Seems to have more of its adult colors coming in, and it's pretty cool. I like them.
Another baby.
Check this out, y'all. I would love to take credit for this, but it was actually my friend who flipped the log with this beautiful Neoponera queen. I was totally unsure if I would find any ant queens on this trip. And I guess I haven't yet, but hey, this is a pretty good start if you have to ask me. Check this out, y'all. Here we have a trail of some lovely eceton. Look at that tiny worker, that's hilarious. But this is definitely a new eceton species for me. As some of you are aware, I did in fact see these in Costa Rica, but not this species, which is very exciting. Just a nice little trail here across the path. I'm gonna try and see if I can find some majors, but overall this is still very, very cool. Oh my god. That thing is huge. Look at, hang on. That is too big. That's not okay.
That is a gigantic centroides.
No freaking kidding, man. Wow. Check out this wacky cactus, y'all. But on top of that, inside this cactus, we have Camponotus. Now, of course, I don't think anyone should be surprised about wood nesting Camponotus. But Camponotus nesting in cactus wood may or may not be a different story. I think that this is definitely the first time that I've ever seen ants nesting directly in cactus wood. Behold, an insect. These big wolf spiders have been all over, but this one looks like it's having a bad time. Okay, y'all, this is seriously spectacular. Check out this Neivamyrmex trail. Now, of course, you're like, well, what the heck? I can barely see the dang trail because you got it zoomed in so much. To which I would say, well, I'm just giving you kind of an idea as to how thick of a trail and how many ants we're dealing with before I show you the fact that this trail is huge. It's definitely a migratory trail. I saw them earlier carrying a few pieces of their own brood. So theoretically, unless she's already gone, waiting here long enough, you could maybe see the queen. But I'm not really planning on doing that. Still, this is really incredible. So I've happened across a pretty good active trail of Neivamyrmex. And I think this explains why we haven't really been seeing any leafcutter ants. It's because they're active at night. After all, we're here during the dry season, and so ants oftentimes struggle to be active during the day when it's really hot and dry. And so it makes perfect sense to me that these guys choose to be active during the night. I love walking up to these big, whatever kind of bush this is. Couldn't really tell you. Because I shine my light, I can just see little antennae waving around, detecting, smelling for whatever it is that they could possibly be looking for here in this beautiful night. And it's really cool because every time I see those antennae, it's a different, mysterious little creature here in the Yucatan jungle. So you will never guess who I just pulled out of the trail. This is insane. I saw... Wow. I was just following the trail back to see where they were coming from and just happened to spot her in there. That's insane. She is so weird. But that's just what you get with army ant queens. This is only the third time that I've seen a Neivamyrmex queen. Or any army ant queen, but it's all been Neivamyrmex. And wow, I really wasn't expecting that. But that's what happens sometimes in these migratory trails. Her eyes are so weird. I did not realize that Neivamyrmex could have eyes like that. I don't think either of the other queens that I saw had that. This is so cool. Absolutely incredible. So just to show, I'm going to gently pick her up. And place her back down in the trail where she belongs. And these workers are pretty quickly going to respond to her alarm pheromones and swarm to protect her. Isn't that just some of the most insane thing you've ever seen? Wow. So how stupid is it that not only the second ant queen of this trip, but the first one that I actually found myself was a freaking army ant queen? That's kind of dumb. So if you didn't like the video as soon as you saw that, you better have had it liked before then, because that's ridiculous. And for the record, I said I'm not going to wait in that trail to see the queen, and I didn't. I did not wait. We walked all the way down the trail and saw some other stuff. I showed you some Neivamyrmex, and then we came back, and I decided to just follow the trail a little bit, see where it was coming from, and she was right there. That was crazy. Yeah, that was ridiculous. Okay, so this is kind of insane. We just came off of a Neivamyrmex queen, and this is a Labitus praetor carpet raid. So some of you may be familiar with the driver ants of Africa. This is the same kind of idea. They absolutely carpet, as the name suggests, carpet the floor of whatever area they're in and kill absolutely everything that they come across. This is crazy. Oh, here. And here you can see exactly what I'm talking about. That cricket didn't stand a chance. No chance of getting away from these guys. And so here you can see this harvestman is doing the only form of defense possible, standing completely still. Now it's moved a little bit, but as soon as those ants come near, it completely freezes. The ants are blind, and so the only way that they can detect prey is when it moves. And so this guy, by staying almost completely still, as long as he doesn't test his luck too much, will be able to avoid the army ants. And it looks like he's been mostly successful in evading their trails. Good job, bud. When I said anything, I really mean anything. That is a whole tarantula getting torn apart, limb by limb. Okay, show the class what you found.
Sabinal frog, Leptodactylus, I believe Fernatus. Yeah, they're really cool.
Look at him. He's so cute.
They've got a massive range. We're down at the southern part of it, but they go all the way up to Sonora. Northern Sonora, even.
Yep, but of course just stopping just shy of Arizona because so much wildlife tends to do that. But it doesn't matter. We don't need him to be in Arizona to find him. That's right. We got him right here, right in front of us. So this morning has been interesting. We got kicked out of our very awesome spot in a nature preserve. And I'm getting pelted with Solenopsis queens. Like, they're just flying through the window. I think this might have been the best possible end to this trip.